they've been dyeing Crystal's hair. Well, the Annas have been dyeing Crystal's hair. I was.
Really?
Otherwise, your hair is gonna fall out. Go.
Anna and I got chased by some of your hooligans.
Yeah.
Really?
They got chased home.
We
They went to
got
go get the
Tell
alcohol.
the story. Tell the story.
Run to the gas station, and then when we left, there was a group of guys. I didn't know that they were following us, but Anna noticed. And yeah, they were following us, and then we were walking very fast, and I heard one of them say, he was like, "Oh, they're getting away." I was like, "I'm coming."
Yes. They were in. They came in. Huffing.
They were drinking.
They were starting to drink.
Yeah.
Anna and Anna came in here huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
And they were like, "We're safe."
Like we were like, "What happened?" And they started telling us what happened.
Did they start running after you?
No, they didn't.
Thankfully, we started walking really fast,
And I
they-
kept looking back
yeah,
to
we
just
got
like
some distance
let them
between
know, like, hey,
So I think they realized that they weren't gonna get us.
we were gonna put a fight.
Yeah.
And then while we were walking in front of the Abbey, Anna, Jenny, and
Oh
Emily
my gosh.
got hit on by boys in a bus.
They were
Really?
15 years old.
They were like schoolboys.
Were they travelers?
No, they were in their school bus.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, "Hello." No.
They were like a
Oh my
football
gosh.
team. That's what it looked like. They were all
Like
wearing.
jocks?
Yeah, they were all.
They were
Because-
very cute for 16-year-olds,
Yeah.
but they were definitely
But they're
baby
definitely too young for us.
16-year-olds.
Were
I asked Sam 5 who's his celebrity crush.
Oh, Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston or that's one of them. Who's the other one?
Oh no! All he ever talks about is Jennifer Aniston. I never knew this. Start with a P.
No, it does not start with a P.
Oh no!
I think it's Crystal.
Oh no!
You'll like this answer.
I
You'll
need
like
a-
this answer.
I need a hint because all
If
they're talking
you
about
had a
is
female
Crystal's
celebrity
mom.
crush, she would be your female
Gal
celebrity.
Gadot.
Yes!
Gal Gadot.
She is awesome.
Thank you, John. Thank
Yes.
you, John.
Okay.
Yeah, Gal Gadot.
He's so smart. I love him. Okay.
I asked him what your favorite song is.
I have a lot of favorite songs. So I don't
Crystal,
know.
just say what you think the answer is. Don't try to like say what you think he would
I'm
say.
a little bit under the influence. That's what she's trying to do.
Oh, okay, never mind.
A little bit.
She did have a giant.
You're about to
glass
do a
of
lot
rosé.
of it.
See, I really like PASU, but I don't think
He did popular. He defaulted to popular music.
popular.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran.
Oh, what's the one, John Legend? You originally told me that you were gonna
All
do
of
that
Me?
song.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Can I have a hint or anything?
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
But it's not Shape of You, so I don't know why
Shape
he
of
would
You.
say that. He always
That's
thinks
the one
it's
you
my
just
favorite
want.
song because I make him dance to it and he doesn't like it. He's wrong.
So I asked John what his favorite thing to see you wearing is.
Oh.
What did he say?
Lord of the Rings. You're adorable. I want you to know that. You really are.
Now I want to know so I can wear it every day.
It'd cause a little bit of attention if you did.
The Lord of the Rings outfit. The one that you wore.
I know.
Attention.
Wonder Woman outfits.
Oh my god.
Not in a
I'm
bad
so
way.
confused.
Not in a bad way.
My guess would be your wedding dress.
It's your wedding dress.
Is it really? He
It's
hasn't
your
seen
wedding-
it though, so is
But
that?
he's gonna be. It's gonna be
That's
his
his favorite thing. That's so sweet. Don't cry. It's beautiful.
Oh.
Well, go ahead and cry.
Lastly, I asked him what your favorite thing about him is.
That's pretty fun.
Well, I love that he loves God. And I'm so curious to know what he said, but to be honest, it's like his fate. And he wouldn't say that though because he's too humble to say that. So he probably said eyes.
He said his sense of humor, so you better laugh at all of his jokes.
Well, it is. I mean, I do love his sense of humor, but I love his faith more than anything. So I feel like I totally failed this test.
I'm actually really impressed with your answers.
I love his sense of humor, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
It's
what he
everything. It's the
Yeah,
whole
it's just
package.
him.
Yeah. And he wasn't gonna say all of that.
He wasn't gonna say all his good qualities.
He wasn't gonna start listing off attributes. He went on.
Oh, we're in the bridesmaids
Are you
get
recording?
ready room. Yeah. And
The get
this
ready
is
room.
The bride. And this is our view because they love us. We have this huge
camera.
table. And I was like, shut up. And we have this massive room with a bar in it. So that's nice. And that's all the makeup out. There's this over there.
Makeup.
And I'm not gonna show my face because I have no makeup on, but I'm gonna show Crystal's.
I have no makeup on. Oh well.
But we're getting ready. We're gonna have breakfast soon, and it's gonna be great.
And you're gonna film me getting ready. Yay.
Have any words of advice for people that are
That are not getting married?
that are getting married?
Okay, for all of you that are not getting married, don't.
Don't not get married.
No, don't get married.
That doesn't make any sense. And we have 2 other bridesmaids. Oh, it's not focused at all.
What?
With us today. That's Jenica, right there, and that's Alana.
Or this.
They're Crystal's sisters.
Nope, they're adopted.
I love coffee.
My sister disappeared, and Anna, the maid of honor, I don't. Oh, she went to the bathroom.
Potty break. Where'd Anna go?
So we have the father of the bride, Mr. Gerard Perez. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so, all right, well, I'll just go straight to the point. A little story time. Okay, all right, let me get situated here. Alrighty then, okay, once upon a time, on a tropical island, there lived a little girl. She loved her mommy, daddy, and younger siblings very much. She would often help her mom and dad care for the younger ones. She was a very happy, caring, athletic, brave, and adventurous little girl. It's a good thing I numbered these.
I numbered.
Okay. She numbered them. Very good. Thank you. We will get you
Don't forget
reward.
father.
Okay, so that little joke, that inside joke was between me, my wife, and father. We were working on this. So
Collaboration.
I think Crystal will be able to appreciate that. So going forward, during those younger years, her bravery was such that one day, when a large earthquake hit the island, instead of running to mommy and daddy, she ran to save her baby sister. Okay? All right.
Was that you?
I'm pausing because I'm trying to emphasize the last few words I said. Her athletic stride was such that when Dad returned home after a long and hard day of police work, the little girl would make it a point to run and charge towards her daddy with a forceful tackle. She knew that this would cheer her daddy up. In later years, she joined athletic teams like basketball, field hockey, softball, and soccer. Many times she would be awarded MVP. You know what that is, right? Okay, very good. Her spirit of adventure was such that by the age of 15, she joined a religious order. Wow, at 15. You can ask me about that later, about how that went.
Oh.
But anyway, it was simpler than what it sounds like. Okay, so she studied in a foreign land for 7 long years. Okay, where was I? All right, it's a foreign land. For 7 long years, where she obtained her degree and spoke the local language fluently. Okay. But the good Lord had different plans for her. This little girl went from Guam to the U.S. mainland, onward to the Philippines, and eventually chose to live in the beautiful land of the Irish people. Wow! So I now introduce to you that very girl, my daughter Crystal Amber Perez Colquhoun. Please stand. Please stand. All right. In Crystal's days, as a little girl, she would often refer to her dad as a superhero. She would call me Superman. But instead, as events unfolded during her life, Crystal turned out to be the superhero. So John, you now have the superhero as your wife. And I'd also like to welcome you as a new family member. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I need a napkin. I got all the sweat on me. I can give the delegate now to whoever I need to. Okay, who's next on the chopping block?
Thank you very much. Pass on the microphone to my equals again. Maid of Honor Anna Jenny.
So a couple of years ago, when Crystal first went to move out to Ireland to be near John, she went to our parish priest and got a special traveler's blessing. And he knew the story of how they met and why she was moving over here, to be close to John. And so he gives her her blessing and has her stand up, and then he gives her his words of parting, which were, you go get that husband. Well, I think it's safe to say she succeeded in doing that. But when I was thinking about what I could talk about today, you know, there's a lot of things I could say. I could just go on for hours and hours about Crystal, but I don't think there's enough alcohol in Ireland for me to talk that long. I could talk about John, who I've gotten to know over the past week, and have seen what a good sport he is when he's carting around a car full of bridesmaids who are very strong-willed and like to pick on him quite a bit. They know what I'm talking about. But he was such a kind, caring person, and very just made our stay here absolutely beautiful and so much fun. But because Crystal is my best friend, I'm going to focus on her. But I'm only going to tell you 3 little things about her, which most of you are probably already aware of, but I think it's worth repeating. First of all, she is a wonderful friend. She's always there for you when you need someone to talk to. She always tries to go that extra mile for everybody. Not just me, not just, you know, her sisters, not just everybody she knows, everybody who's here. You could probably call her at 3 in the morning and she'd answer the phone, because that's the type of person she is. She doesn't try to do just the easy way or the quickest way, but she tries to do things in a way that is best for everybody involved. So that's one little thing about Crystal. Secondly, she is loyal beyond belief. If anybody should have known how to test her loyalty and her friendship, it probably would have been me. But as you can see, I'm still standing next to her, or rather, she's standing next to me. And the thing about Crystal is, if she believes something is right, she's gonna fight for it till the end. And whether that be her friends, her family, or her faith, she will stick by it no matter what. Come rain, shine, which is gonna be mostly rain here in Ireland. But that's okay. That's okay. She spent time in Washington. We got it rain. And she's there for you even if you go off and do your own thing, and even if she's telling you it's completely the right thing to do, why would you do that? She's there for you when you need someone, a shoulder to cry on, and she doesn't always say I told you so. She tries really hard not to, but she's usually right anyway. So that's the second thing about Crystal. Lastly, she is one of the most loving people that I have ever met. She is incredibly selfless. And I think one of the purest ways I've seen that, especially this week, I've heard her say many times, John, that she loves you more than her own life. And I think, I can't think of any other things to illustrate her purity and her lovingness there. Her love isn't going to fade. She only knows how to go one direction, and that's towards growth and more love, because her love it's not about butterflies. I mean, it is. She loves John. She's madly in love with him, but it's not just about that. Her love for him is grounded in something deeper. It's grounded in God, and it's grounded in her faith, and that's why I'm confident that their love will mature as they mature, and grow as they grow, and change as they change. So that's how Crystal loves. So John, you're stuck with her. She's not going anywhere. And just like the Claddagh ring that you gave her when you proposed and asked her to be your wife, and it's the Claddagh symbolizing love, loyalty, and friendship. You offered her your love, loyalty, and friendship when you asked her to be your wife. And I can tell you that you are getting all of those virtues and many, many, many more in the person of Crystal Corcoran now. So that is Crystal Corcoran.
very much, Anna. Now it's the man of the moment himself, the groom, John Corcoran.
Thanks very much, everyone, for coming here. I was just, this morning I woke up and I had a few things left to get done. So my speech is probably a bit haphazard. I just have a few bullet points here. Don't really have any format to it, but I'll try my best anyways. I'd just like to start by saying that I was overwhelmed today when I was in the church and I turned around and I saw Crystal, and you look absolutely beautiful. I'd also like to say thank you very much to all the people that have made this day possible. Canon Rappel, you took on this role to celebrate the wedding at short notice, and that was very generous of you. And Abby Phillips, you also. Thank you very much. It's amazing. I'd also like to say the bridesmaids, you've been fantastic. Anne and Emily Brusich, you've just been amazing. And Alana, Jenica, and Kenny, and I can't go through everyone, to be honest, but all the bridesmaids, Sarah and Anime, the maid of honor, I'm sorry. Yeah. And for all the groomsmen as well, thanks very much. You all know who you are. I'd like to say also that my own parents have been very patient with me, and it's not easy to raise a family nowadays. And I'd just like to say I think they've done an outstanding job. It's myself, and I'm biased obviously by saying it for myself. They've probably done a better job of my sibling actually, but I'd just like to say I really appreciate everything they've done for us. My father Peter, he always insisted that we pray the rosary whenever we visit our relatives' houses, and that stuck by me through the years. I first met Crystal in 2013 in Catholic Match, which is, for those of you who don't know, Catholic Match is a Catholic online dating website. It's not your conventional way of meeting someone, but I use the computer a lot, so I don't get out much. God works in mysterious ways. After messaging Crystal first, she didn't respond to me for a couple of weeks actually. But that was, to be honest, that was just because I'd say she had such a busy life and I was probably just stuck on the computer. But anyway, I get to the point. It's fairly soon after meeting Crystal, I realised that we had a very strong connection, emotionally and spiritually. I know it's hard to understand, but I decided to go over to Seattle after a couple of months because I just felt this compelled to get to know Crystal more, and I could tell that she was a very special person, and it was very kind of it was very strange how there were so many coincidences, how so many things fell into place. Like, for example, I found out that Crystal and I both were members of the same religious community, and I only realised that after about a couple of weeks of messaging her, that we had spent time in the same community in Delaware. And even though things didn't work out there for me or for Crystal, it laid the foundations for bonds that we've developed, and moving forward, I have to say that getting to know Crystal over the last couple of years, she's an amazing person, and I'm very grateful that you're willing to put up with me in spite of all the anyway, I'm kind of struck for words here, to be honest. So I won't keep you too much longer because I'm kind of delaying things here. But well, thanks very much. I got a tweet there earlier on actually from Donald Trump. He just said that to wish us the best for the wedding, but he couldn't make it, unfortunately. Hulk Hogan also sent his regards as well. He wants us to take our vitamins and say our prayers, but I don't think we'll be visiting them anytime soon anyway, so I helped the father of the bride build a house on my last visit to Seattle. It was the house of David. David is Crystal's brother. David's now my brother-in-law, so I suppose this is the second royal wedding of the week. I think I've mentioned everything that's there on my sheet, so I'm just going to pass it on to the next person now. And God bless you all, and thanks very much for coming.
The bride, Crystal Perez, now Corker.
Thank you. Now, I won't be able to say thank you to everyone that I want to say thank you, because my memory isn't that great, but I want to thank, first of all, our Lord Jesus and our Blessed Mother, because without them, obviously, I wouldn't have found such an amazing man, John. And I want to thank my parents, Stacy and Gerard, for raising me and doing your best, because obviously, I know that you have always taught me, the importance of the rosary, and Peter and Dominica have taught John the importance of the rosary and the faith. I just want to thank our families for that. I'd like to thank my maid of honor. That was a beautiful speech, and it really made me cry. Thank you. I'd like to thank all of the bridesmaids. Could you please all stand up, because you did an amazing job. Alana, Angelica, my sisters, thank you so much for traveling over here. Sarah, John's sister, thank you so much for everything, for housing me and everything. Sarah and Anna, I love you so much. Thanks for everything you did for me today and for sacrificing so much. Emily, you did very nicely on the makeup. Anna, you made the crown and you did my hair. And I mean, if it wasn't for you, I did not wake up like this. And I'd like to thank your parents, Mark and Stephanie, for housing John twice and taking care of us. I'd like to thank also the groomsmen. Thank you very much. Cormac, especially, and Cahill, thank you very much. Cahill, wherever you are, I can't find you. Where are you? There you are. Cahill, Cormac, Shane, Brendan, Philip, Ross, sorry. And I also like to thank Maria. I don't know where you are, Maria, but I know you're out there. You and Cormac have done so much for the pro-life, and John and I are so honored to be a part of, your group, even though we haven't done that much for the pro-life, but thank you so much, because with your help and with God's grace, we can, have a pro-life Ireland still, hopefully tomorrow, Vote no! Anyway, thanks everyone who made it near and far, and I want to apologize if anybody was left out of the seating plan. That was my fault. I'm very sorry. I am. It's not your fault. But I'm so happy to see all of you, and I'm very grateful and very humbled by all the good words and everything. But I just want to say a few good things about John, because honestly, he's an amazing person, and I agree with everyone who's ever said that he is a saint, because he really is. Like, I mean, I met a few guys on Catholic Match, and believe me, meeting John was a breath of fresh air. I just don't know. John, you're an amazing man, and I know everyone in the room can agree with me that you really are a saint. Like, you're so pure. I'm not exaggerating. You really are so pure, and I know every time that I was like tempted to speak bad of somebody or just get mad or something, he would just be like, okay, let's pray. And he would be like, let's pray the rosary, and I was like, nah, okay, fine. So I'm really grateful for your faith, and if it wasn't for you, I don't honestly know where I would be, because when you kind of change your life around and you're trying to look for truth, sometimes you get messed up in the world with different things and confusion going on. But God and Mama Mary put you in my life, and they put me on the right track, I believe. But honestly, you're an amazing person, and I don't know where I would be without you. So you're an amazing man, and I know everybody can agree with that. But as I said, I didn't get to thank everybody, but another word, I have no regrets about La Grey Hotel. Thank you very much, everyone, for everything. Thank you, Martin. Sally's not here. Ruth, thank you very much. And thank you all for coming. And thank you, everyone, for your prayers, because without prayers, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, and we also want to mention a dear friend of ours. We could have maybe pause for a moment of silence for all of our dearly departed from my grandpa Jim Roberts and my other grandpa Ricardo Nicholas, and also our dear friend Barry Mitchell, who was planning to be here today, but he got to go to Jesus earlier, and he drowned in Salt Hill, but he was going to be here today. But anyway, we're just very thankful for those up in heaven that are looking down on us and praying for us, and all of you who are praying for us. Thank you very much, and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Crystal, for your very sincere words. And I think since I met Crystal, since we've met her in the family, she's a very thoughtful person, very kind, very sensitive, and I think, as the old Galway people used to say, she has great nature in her. So, on behalf of our father and mother and of John's siblings, myself, Sarah, and Colin, I'd like to welcome her to the family. Reverend Canon, friends and relations. When John was a baby, we used to put him to sleep reading encyclopedias. Before I say another word, this could be my imagination, but did I hear a bit of an American twang there when the guru speak? But he was always fascinated with numbers. What was the tallest building? What was the tallest mountain? When the video machines came out first, one of the films we got to look at was a Star Wars movie, The Return of the Jedi. I think any time we got a video in those days, we'd replay it about 3 or 4 times to get the maximum value of it. But I don't know if anyone is familiar with that Star Wars movie, but in the movie there are villages inhabited by little furry creatures called Ewoks. And I think the first 2 times that John watched the film, I don't know what age you would have been at this stage, maybe 4 or 5, John had noticed that all of these Ewoks were wearing hoods over their heads. Now John had a great imagination, but the 3rd time we looked at the film, John noticed that one of the Ewoks didn't have a hood. So being the generous and thoughtful man that he now is, he got his hands on one of the plastic Ewok toys that were in the house, and he removed the hood and inserted it into the video player machine. Presumably thinking that this Ewok, who had suffered the indignity of having no headgear, would be suitably attired the next time the video was played. I'm afraid we had to make a trip to O'Connor's television and video repair after that one. On a serious note, John is a very thoughtful person. He's always ready to oblige. I can honestly say he must be probably the most patient man I know. I don't think you could meet somebody that you could insult for 2 hours who would listen politely and agree with you. Possibly, not that I've ever done this, no. Possibly the only other man that I can see in this room that might have something similar as same level of patience would be Jeremy Clifford over there. John is also very tenacious. I suppose ever since the first time we saw John spend the day at the bog turning the turf, we knew that he was a hard worker. He turned so many yards, he put the adults to shame. More recently, John decided to follow our father's footsteps and study accountancy. John was so dedicated to his studies that he ended up spending a night in the college. He was actually locked into the college. Now, he tells this story better than I do himself, but the gist of it, from what I can remember, is that he was so determined to finish a particular project on time that when the deadline was fast approaching, probably less than 12 hours away, he was working away in one of the computer suites in the college on this project, and when the night watchman did the rounds to lock up the college for the night, John had a brainwave of hiding under a table, one of the tables in the computer suite, when he saw the security man coming towards the door. This is real 007 stuff. No, it may have seemed like a good idea at the time, but by about 2 a.m. John was beginning to run out of steam, so he decided to leave the college. Of course, as soon as he passed a sensor in the corridor, an alarm was triggered. So John began to run. Within a couple of seconds, there was about 10 alarms triggered. Somehow, I don't know how he managed to find some door, and then probably a fire exit. He pushed out the door. I think in the end he ended up having to scale a 12-foot security railings outside, but he got away with it anyway, so fair play to him. But I suppose that's an example of his tenacity. He was so determined to finish this project. Sorry, no, I'm losing track of this. But again, on a serious note, I think John he's one of his qualities, his best qualities really is, I think he always puts other people before himself, maybe too much so at times, and I think that they're both the bride and groom are as nice as people as you could meet, and I think we should raise our glasses in a toast to their future happiness. To the bride and groom. Let's make sure I don't forget anybody. I should also mention, of course, that Cathal and John, our brother Cathal, have been like two troopers over the years. They've been through a lot of things together, and probably really should be Cathal that's up here now, and not me giving this speech, but apparently some people find difficulty in telling the two of them apart, particularly when they answer the phone. If John answers the phone, the caller thinks it's Cathal. If it's Cathal answering the phone, they think it's John. Apparently a friend of the family said it needs ear tags to separate them at one stage. But if Andrew, Crystal has a cousin down to my left here who's very good mimic. Of course, John isn't a bad mimic himself. But if Andrew was willing to give us a taste of his talent.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Crystal's cousin Andrew. That's all right. I got it. No, I'm good. I'm good with speeches. So, Crystal asked me to come in to her. She invited me to her wedding. I'm going to say like last July, August time frame. And at first, I couldn't make it. I just couldn't, due to my mom's benefits with United Airlines. But about a week later, my mom said, no, you still are on the airlines. So I said, okay, let's make it a surprise. So I told my Aunt Stacy, John, a couple others here, said, you know what, let's just surprise her. I'm not sure when that'll be. It ended up being yesterday. She was sitting over there in the restaurant. She comes over, sitting there, I come over. What's up, cuz? Yeah, we got her pretty good. I was really thankful that she invited me. And the rest of the family really wanted to be here, especially my mom. But they send their love. So, I'm not sure how this came over here. Or why, a little bit. I know I can do some impersonations, I'm not sure why that applies. But I was entertaining the family last night, so I had to think of something in my head real quick. Those of you who are familiar with our past, I don't know, 5 or 6 presidents will know a few of these. So let's see what I can come up with here on the spot, all right? See if you get this first one. Crystal and John, it's been a pleasure knowing you for this long, okay? There is no wall that will divide you two. And if there was a wall, it'd be huge. Huge, okay? It would cost billions and billions of dollars. Oh, let's see. How about the second one with George Bush? That would be HW. The W stands for honesty. Crystal and John, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I would like to give my speechify to all these people around here. Here's some great people. But to tell you the truth, I don't think I can come up with the other few presidents like Reagan, Bill Clinton, although he is a very big dog. But that's about all I can say about that for now. That is relevant. What's that? One last thing. No, let me be clear, don't laugh. You invited me to this party. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. I wish you the best in all things. All right? Good luck to you. I love you both.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Great stuff, thank you very much indeed. Get you all on the floor for this one. Way back before lifetime.
Through to the last, he treads the awkward way. And young Rory Macaulay goes to die on the bridge of doom today.
Who's on first, Abbott and Costello?
Are you really?
Oh yeah, that's happening all right. I wanted to do this for the my skit in a speech class, but instead I had to do a George Bush thing.
You had to.
Which that was fun too, and people had to record that. Okay, so it was
Can you stand up to do it, or?
Oh, we can do that, unless you don't want to.
I don't know how.
Okay, okay.
No, no.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool. And I'm red?
You are red.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Try and say it.
How do I get the zoomed in?
Or you have to turn it sideways.
Oh, I can do that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Abbott and Costello. Who's on first? Go for it.
Well, Costello, I'm going to New York with you. You know, Bucky Harris, and, the Yanks manager, gave me a job as a coach for as long as you're on the team.
Look, Abbott, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
Right, certainly, do.
Well, I never met the guys, so you have to tell me the names, and then I'll know who's playing on the team.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you the names. But, you know, strange as it may seem, they give these ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names. Pet names like Dizzy Dean and...
His brother Daffy?
Daffy Dean.
And a French cousin?
French?
Gouffet.
Goofy Dean? Oh, I see. Well, I just got that. Well, let's see. We have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
That's what I want to find out.
Well, I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You gonna be the coach too?
Yes.
You don't know the fellas' names?
Well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fella's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first base.
Who's on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yeah.
Well, go in and tell me.
That's it.
That's who?
Yeah.
Look. You got a first baseman?
Certainly.
Who's playing first?
That's right.
When you pay out the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
All I'm trying to find out is who's the guy's name on first base?
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
That's it.
Who gets the money on first base?
He does, every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
Look, all I want to know is when you sign up the first baseman, how does he sign his name on the contract?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
How does he sign his name?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
No, what's on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Well, don't change the players
I'm not changing nobody.
Take it easy, buddy.
All I'm asking you, who's the guy on first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
What's the guy's name on first base?
No, what's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Oh, he's on third. We're not talking about him. Now let's get back to first.
Now, how did I get on third base?
Well, you mentioned his name.
If I mentioned the third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third?
No, who is playing first?
What's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go, back on third again. Look. Will you stay on third base and don't go off it?
All right, what do you want to know?
Now, who's playing third base?
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
No, what's on second?
You don't want who on second?
No, who's on first?
I don't know. Third base!
Greenest. Okay, I got it.
Look, you got outfield?
Sure.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask you.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me who is playing left field.
Who is playing first?
I'm not. Stay out of the infield! I want to know what's the guy's name in left field.
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
No, who is on first?
I don't know. Third base! And the left fielder's name?
Why?
Because.
No, he's center field. Well, that's the fellow's name. You're on look.
Oh yeah. Look. You got a pitcher on a team?
Sure.
The pitcher's name?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you then.
Well then go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
At what time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's pitching?
Now listen. Who is not pitching?
I'll break your arm, you say who's on first? I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know. Third base! You got a catcher?
Certainly.
The catcher's name?
Today.
Today. And tomorrow's pitching?
Now you've got it.
All we got is a couple of days on the team.
Great.
You know, I'm a catcher too.
So they tell me.
I can do some fancy catching with. What does it say? I can get behind the plate and do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on the team, and the heavy hitter gets up.
Yes.
Now the heavy hitter bunts the ball. When he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I want to throw the guy out of first base, so I pick up the ball and throw it to who?
Now that's the first thing you
I
said
don't
right.
even know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's all you have to do.
It's to throw the ball to first base.
Yes.
Now who's got it?
Naturally.
Look, if I throw the ball to first base, somebody's got to get it. Now who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
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 So I pick up the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, you don't. You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's different.
That's what I said.
No, you're not saying that.
I throw the ball to naturally.
No, you throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
Listen, you asked me.
I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
The same as you.
You just changed
Same
them around.
as you.
You just changed them around.
I throw the ball to who? Whoever it is drops the ball, the guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball and throws it to what? What throws it? I don't know. I don't know, throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play.
Yes.
Another guy gets up and it's a long fly ball to because. Why? I don't know. He's on third and I don't give a darn.
Oh, what?
I said I don't give a darn.
Oh, that's our shortstop.
Ah, jeez!
Woo!
And that's it.
Very nice.
Good job.
Thank you.
And the hair and lofty feathers are plain to be seen.
Making homes for their young round the cliffs of Tunis.
Take a view o'er the mountains, fine sights you'll see there. You'll see the high Rocky Mountains on the west coast of Clare, and the towns of Kilkee and Kilrush can be seen from the high rocky slopes of the cliffs of Tunis.
I'm leaning on a lamp. Maybe you think I look a tramp, or you may think I'm hanging round to steal a motor car. But no, I'm not a crook, and if you think that's what I look, I'll tell you why I'm here and what my motives are. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes by. I don't know if she'll get away, she doesn't always get away, but anyhow I know that she'll try. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes by. There's no other girl I would wait for, but this one I'd break any date for. I won't have to ask what she's late for. She wouldn't leave me flat, she's not a girl like that. Oh, she's absolutely wonderful and marvelous and beautiful, and anyone can understand why. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady passes by.
On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hunt her hair and turn her down the rocky road, then all the way to Dublin, Macfallalina. In Mullingar that night he rested him, so weary started by daylight next morning light, and there he took a drop of the pure to keep me heart from sinking. That's a bad stroke when here he's on for drinking to see the lassie smile at me there in style. I've gone wrong.
1, 2, 3.